Welcome to the Bustin' Tail Outdoors YouTube page. On this YouTube channel, this is where we talk about anything from everyday carry, concealed carry, guns, knives, anything tactical. And later on, we're going to be shooting some duck hunting videos. So if that's something you want to follow along, hit that like and subscribe button, guys, because you're not going to want to miss out. But for right now, let's tune in and see what today's episode is all about. You don't want to miss it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bustin' Tail Outdoors. I'm your host, Josh Lynn. Thank y'all for tuning in today. I have an awesome product, so I'm not going to waste any of your time. Let's just jump right into it. We'll go over it. I'll explain a few things. I'll put a couple of little videos with this up and just let you see it from there. So let's hop right into it. Okay, so what I have for y'all today is this one from Topdon, thermal imaging monocular. This is a 256 by 192 by 13 millimeter lens thermal monocular. The 256 is your basic entry on the thermal side, but don't let this thing fool you. It is pretty amazing for what it is. And the reason why that I got this, a predator hunt at night, instead of staying in the gun and scanning and with the gun, I just wanted something to be less movement and to be able to scan with, so that way when I do find something, I can then go to the gun and then, finish it out from there. That's the reason why I got this. So if you're predator night hunting and you use a thermal, you need some type of thermal monocular. And if you're on a budget, this one's going to be your best bet. And I'm telling you, just because it's a 256, do not knock it. It is well worth the money. I would have loved to have the 384, the bigger brother to this one, which is the same size, but technically the 384 is double the price. So this is $400. The 384 was $800. I just couldn't justify $400 to get the better picture quality. Now I know some people could, I can't. And for just being able to scan until I see something that I need to go to my gun, this works perfectly. I promise you it does. So let's go over this front to back. Pretty simple. I will tell you that what comes in the box, you get this, the lanyard, the charging cord, and a user manual that is about as useless as a box of rocks because it's that thick in 40 different languages. There's only 6 pages dedicated to this. It might teach you a little something, but it doesn't teach you everything that you need to know. But lucky for you, this thing's pretty simple. So let's start with the front. Got a nice little dust cap, opens up to your 13 millimeter lens. Pop it back on when you want to transport, so that way you don't damage your lens. I also need to say this too, whether a monocular or a thermal scope, and if you do it during the daytime, do not point that in the sun because you will damage your lens and you could damage the unit itself, so just remember that. Up above here you have a little flashlight, and just to turn that on, you press this M button. Really comes in handy for me at night when the stand's done and I need to walk back to the truck or my side-by-side. I got a nice little flashlight so that way I can kind of see, make sure that nothing is in front of me and then whatever. You flip it we're going to flip it this way. You got the power button. You'll hold it down for a few seconds and it'll turn on. If you want to quickly turn it off while you're using it, just press it and it'll turn off. But it won't fully turn off. To fully turn it off, and you need to do this after you're 100% done with it, just hold it down for a few seconds. You'll see the countdown clock in the screen, then it's fully turned off. What happens if you don't, you're going to wake up the next day you go through extra day and you want to go hunting again, you're going to find out that you drained your battery because it was still on. So just remember that, because I found that out the hard way, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Right below it is where you charge it, plain and simple. The top button here, as you can see, they're a little bit raised. It says M. This goes, once it turns on, you just press it and it goes through your mode palettes. It's got something called bird watching, black hot, white hot, red hot, and fusion. That's the 5 modes it's got. But to get to your menu, you'll hold that down for a few seconds and you'll see the menu pop up in the screen. And to navigate through the menu, you just use this one is up, this one is down. And then when you get into the menu, you want to change something, click this M button again, and you can scroll up and down to turn something off. When you want to back out of it, just press the power, and it'll back out to the main home screen. And when you want to click out of that, click the power again until you're back to the regular screen. The middle button is the zoom. I mean, there's no need to explain that one. You just press it. It's got 8 times, I think it's 8 times zooms. But I will tell you this, the more you zoom in on this 256, the way less quality it really truly is. I'm just going to let you know that. And I think that's with any thermal, really. On the bottom here, you have your camera in the picture. Once you have it on, you just click it, press it once, and it'll take a picture, and then you hold it for a couple seconds, and it'll start the camera. And to turn the camera off, you just hold it for a couple seconds, and it stops. This thing does run off an app. If you want to put it if you want to be able to put it on social media, you have to get the app that goes with it. It just Wi-Fi's to your phone. I mean, pretty simple. On the side here is your focus. So as you got it up and you've got it on, you just turn this knob to focus it to your eyesight. I think that's pretty cool. I wish kind of my rifle scope, the one on my rifle scope had that right there, so that was just quick and easy. And then, of course, you have your eye cup. It's not as big as what, are on the other ones, but it's nice enough to keep the glare out, glare from shining out off your face. And normally, when I get done, when I'm scanning with it, I just hit that button, turn it off before I pull it away from my face. And these are all things that, you're going to learn if you buy one of these. I'll also show you on the bottom, you can put this on a tripod if you want. So if you got a tripod that'll raise up enough to where you can just leave it on a tripod and scan on a tripod, if that's what you like to do, hey, you can do it. But for me, I keep mine in my chest rig, so that's the reason why I got this lanyard. I put this lanyard on that comes with it, so that way when I stuff it down there, I can just use this lanyard to pull it out, easy access. That's this unit in a nutshell. The overall, it is plastic over an aluminum body, so it's very well, nicely constructed. I've dropped this thing, I can tell you right now, I think I've had it for 3 weeks, and I've dropped it probably about 10 times, and it never misses a beat. So, but man, I can't tell you how much I would highly recommend this 256. Okay, so a few more things I wanted to talk to y'all about. Just want to show you real quick, so that way if you're searching the model number, this is the TS004. I can't remember what the 384 is, but it's easy to find. You can get this off Amazon. Let's talk about the battery life. So the battery life on this thing, they advertise as 10 hours. Well, it's very true. It'll last 10 plus, even if you leave it on. So remember the trick I told you about the power button. Don't forget that. But in case you do, this thing will last 10 plus hours, even if you just left it on fully without turning it off. So the battery life is amazing on this. And it's powered by just one 18650 battery. So it does a good job. The second thing I'd like to say about is when you get into the menu, this thing also has a distance in it. It kind of like a rangefinder, but it don't work as well as what you think. For me, a lot of things it's either 15 yards away or 92 yards away. Very few things does it actually tell the range, the distance just right. It's also got 3 identification things in there to identify a human, a boar, and a bird. And that turns on when you turn the distance on. When you go through the menu, you'll see a distance thing in there. Once you scroll down and you click this M button and turn it on, not only does it turn the rangefinder on, or I say it's a rangefinder, it says distance mode. You'll find out that it also turns that on. When you do have it on, it does have I can't remember how you do it. I think you just press the M again when it's in the regular screen, but it's got a picture-in-picture, but you have to turn that on through the menu as well. So, that's something else you got to turn on. But as far as anything else goes, the rest of the stuff in the menu, I don't think you'll use. And I wouldn't recommend using the distant thing. I'm just using it to see how accurate it was. I've been testing it out, and I can tell you this right now, I'd just turn it off and leave it off. And also, the human, the boar, and the bird identification, that's about as useless as a box of rocks too. So one final thing I want to talk about with this thermal imaging monocular, that this is probably the part that you wanted to hear, is the distance that you can see out and the detection of stuff that you can see out. So for me on this one, once again, I'm predator hunting at night. I'm keeping everything in between 200 yards within. So this one, up to about 300 yards can detect big animals. I would say smaller animals like rabbits and stuff need to be 200 yards within, and then you can see them pretty good. You'll start detecting them. And of course, the closer it is, the better the image is going to be of you actually seeing the outline of a rabbit or a groundhog or a coyote or something like that. But about a mile from the house is the interstate. And while I'm looking across there, the cars and big trucks, because they produce such a big heat signature, they still come out not clear as day, but I can tell what they are. I can tell if it's a truck, a car, a van, or a semi. I can tell what those are. Like the transformers that are on highline poles, they put off a really big heat signature. That stuff you can see well out to about, say half a mile to a mile. The smaller stuff, no. I have been out somewhere on one of my stands where I'm looking across in the rifle, and I can see the rabbits out there in the field. But when I go to try to find them with this, I can't see them. And I don't know if that's just because this is not as great picture quality as what the other one is, because this one is a 256 and I have a 384 on my rifle. So that's probably just a difference there. But as far as distance, a good accurate's about out to 300 yards. For kind of medium-sized animals. Anything smaller needs to be 200 within. Anything out from, say, that off to a mile, anything that's got a big heat signature, you're going to be able to see. But once again, but for what this is, and once again, I'm using this as just a thermal scanner while I'm predator hunting, so that way whenever I see a heat signature, then I can go to the rifle, turn this off, go to the rifle. It's going to give me a better picture. And that way, and just stay on it to the finish. So what I'm going to have next is I was playing around in the yard. I had the dogs out. You'll see, I think maybe on the video, they identify as a boar. As we went and talked about, this has got 3 identification things, which is really honestly useless. But let's get to that video and let me show you what the quality that this produces. Okay, so this Topdon 256x192 has 5 modes. We're in bird watching mode, which is mixed between black and white hot, in my opinion. Next, we're going to go to white hot, a very good, cool one to have. This one's not as bad. The next one we're going to go to is black hot. This one and predator mode are my favorites. Really best to use for night hunting. You see that car, it's got the cat on top, and you see the front of that car, how it's got the heat coming from that engine. That's the reason why it's one of my favorites. And if you see down the road, you've seen that truck pass through, and you can tell what it was. And here's red hot. This is my least favorite. I don't even use this at all. As you can see, it just doesn't do a very good job, in my opinion. Then here we are. They call it fusion. I call it predator mode, one of my favorites. You can see the dogs are just glowing up orange because of that awesome heat signature. So, hey, all in all, this one from Topdon for $400. This thing is bad to the bone. Don't knock it until you try it. If you're on a budget, get it. I highly recommend it. All right, guys, I hope I did this product some justice. I hope I went over everything that you would need to know if you're looking into buying one of these. Because, once again, when you talk about getting into the thermal game, it can get crazy expensive. So, but once again, if you're just looking to start out and get your feet wet, man, don't overlook this thing. This thing is a lot better than what people think it is, especially for just being a 256, kind of your starting level in the thermal game. Don't knock it. This thing's pretty sweet, and especially for the way I use it, I can attest that this thing does what I need it to do, and I think it would do what you need to do. So before we get off here, I'd just like to take the time and thank each and every one of y'all that come to this channel, watch the episodes, watch the shorts. I'm behind on a lot of videos. I still have stuff from last year that I haven't even done yet. And we've got a lot of catching up to do. So y'all stay on the lookout because there's going to be some awesome stuff come up on this channel. But while we stay in pursuit for coyotes, because here in Arkansas, we can pursue them 365, and that's what I plan on doing. So, but y'all stay tuned. A lot of awesome stuff coming. So if y'all like this style content, hit that like and subscribe button so that way you can be the first ones to be notified when new stuff is being released to the channel. But until next time, enjoy the hunt, be persistent, and basically just get out there and have fun. Bustin' Tail Outdoors.